Welcome to Unit 3 of the second book in Year 1, Real Shanghai Mathematics Practice Book 1.2. And this is a short unit, and just a quick reminder, as mentioned previously, lessons should be short for your child, short and frequent, so around 30 minutes, try and aim for every day. And as long as they do that, they should be making very good progress. If there are any areas that they need more work on, you should be able to tell by how they're getting on with the material so far. Again, the most important things are number bonds, greater than, less, and just getting familiar now with money. Similar to money, this topic, which is about time, real benefit will be, and you see real improvement if they could see the real day benefit of it. And so do check with them with the real clock times from time to time and explain to them so they can get a feel of actual time, which will reinforce what they're learning currently. And your child is just getting familiar with the hour and the half hour mark. So the big hand should be on a 12 or a 6, and they should start to get familiar with that. So question 1, look at the clocks and write the times. So when the big hand is on 12, it's something o'clock. When the big hand is on 6, then it's half past. And just to get familiar with that. And as they can see, when the small hand is on 5, then it's going to be 5 o'clock with the big hand at 12. And when the big hand is past the 7, and the big hand is on 6, then it will be 7:30. So then you need to get familiar with what the times look like in terms of 7 o'clock. The big hand would have been on a 12, and as the clock moves, the little hands move slightly, and that's why it's in between the 7 and the 8, because it's exactly half past 7. And then again 12 o'clock after that, 11:30, 12:30, and 9 o'clock should be straightforward for us, but it might be difficult for your child because it's the first time. And if they're struggling, as I say, it shouldn't be an issue because it's about practice, and hopefully you have a clock and you can reinforce the information from now on in terms of times, in terms of when they come to times again later on, which will be moving on to the next stage. Until then, they should be familiar with half past and also 8 o'clock or the hour on the hour mark. Question 2, getting them familiar with where the big hand should be. So it's 8 o'clock, so the big hand should be on 12. And when it's half past, the big hand should be on a 6. And that's all that they're getting familiar with. And also they're getting familiar with the other way of writing the time. For example, 13:00. So when it's 00 at the end, then the big hand should be on 12. And when it's 30 at the end, 30, then the big hand should be on a 6. And 11:30 and 6 o'clock, which should be straightforward. And then number 3 is getting them familiar with the times of the days and what happens when. And so Emma has breakfast, Emma has the first lesson, Emma leaves school, Emma watches TV, and it's just connecting those to the right time. So the earliest thing should be getting up for breakfast, having breakfast at 7:30, and then getting up. Emma has the first lesson. Yeah, Emma has breakfast at 7:30. First lesson is probably at 9 o'clock. Leaves school at 3:30, and Emma watches the news on TV at 5:30. Write the times given using the o'clock to show what Ravi does in the day. Use a 24-hour clock. So again, getting them familiar with the 24-hour clock. So for example, your child should know or get familiar with the concept of after 12, when it's during the daytime, the 1 o'clock, it represents 12 plus 1, 13, and it goes on and so forth. So it's 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's a case of adding 12 to the time. So Ravi has lunch according to this, then using a 24-hour clock would be 13:00. Ravi has PE lesson in the school. So this is the morning one before 12 o'clock. So in which case we don't have to add the 12, and this will just be 10:30. And Ravi goes to bed. This is after 12, so this is 7 p.m. So it'll be 12 plus 7, which is 19, and 19:30. Just be familiar with the 24-hour clock. If it's say 7:30 in the morning, usually this is written as 07:00, just to make it clear that this is a morning time. And with that, we end this lesson, a short lesson. I hope you find this material useful, and please do like and subscribe and forward it and share it to people who you may find it interesting. And it would be a great motivation if you can leave a comment below in terms of how to improve the lessons, or if there are any parts that you feel need to go through in more details, or I can provide links for more material practice, and we can even go through those practices if needed. So I'll keep an eye on for any comments, and that would be great. And thank you for your time.